Hi, first grade. Who's ready to do some math? You'll need this page, 2D shapes today. And remember, 2D are flat shapes, just like these. And today we're going to do the number of vertices, or corners, the number of sides, and the name of the shape. And you don't need to do the name of the shape for most of these. I'm gonna help you with the names of the shapes. We're gonna go through this whole page. And on the back side, these are the ones that you need to do. You need to come up with some kind of silly name for some of these shapes. All right, so let's start with this first one. And we'll start with the number of vertices. And if you remember, vertices are corners. So let's count the number of vertices. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, there's 3 vertices. Write that in the space. Okay, number of sides. You can draw if you want to. 1, 2, 3. 3 sides. Do you see a pattern going on? And what is this shape? You're right, it's a triangle. Okay, let's do it in another example. Number of vertices. Remember, those are the corners. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, write it. Make a prediction. How many sides do you think this shape is going to have? Ooh, I bet you're right. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sides. And the name of this shape is called a pentagon. A pentagon. If you need to pause the screen to write that, go ahead and do that. We call this a pentagon because it has 5 sides. Penta means 5, gon means shape. 5-sided shape, pentagon. All right, let's try this one here. Let's count the vertices first. That's the corners. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 vertices. Make a prediction. How many sides do you think? Ooh, I bet you're right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Do you notice that usually a shape has the same number of sides and the same number of vertices? Nice. This shape is called a hexagon. It's called a hexagon because it has 6 sides. Hexa means 6. All right, a few more here, and then it's going to be your turn. All right, first thing to do, the number of vertices. How many corners or vertices? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Do you think you can tell how many sides this shape has without counting? Ah, you're right. This shape has 8 sides. It has 8 vertices and 8 sides. Do you see a pattern? This shape is called an octagon. An octagon. An octo means 8. 8-sided shape, octagon. All right, it's your turn. You need to count the number of sides and number of vertices for these 2 shapes on this side. I'm going to tell you the name though. This one is called a parallelogram. It's called a parallelogram because it has what's called parallel sides. This side and this side, this side and this side are called parallel sides. You'll learn that when you get into a different grade. This one is called the trapezoid. And it's just called the trapezoid. It's tricky to write. So you have a parallelogram and a trapezoid. You need to figure out the number of vertices and number of sides for these 2 shapes. You can pause the video now and do that. When you're finished, turn it over to the back side. You need to write the number of vertices and number of sides for all of these shapes. I'm going to help you with the name of this first shape. This is also a parallelogram. For these shapes that are different and interesting, come up with a silly name. I might call this one, I'm going to call him Toothy, because it kind of looks like two teeth there. So you can come up with a silly name for this one, and this one. Come up with a silly name. For these shapes, you also need to count the vertices and the sides. Let's practice with this shape. Let's count the vertices or the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 vertices. I wonder how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, even when the shape is all funky, the rule is still the same. Same number of vertices, same number of sides. So do the same thing. Count the sides and vertices. Tell us the name of this shape and this shape. You can make up silly names for this shape, and this shape. All right, don't worry about these bottom directions. You can cross them out. I don't know if you can see that very well. Cross them out. On the other side, there's no directions on the bottom. You can cross out these directions. You don't need to do them. But you do need to tell me how many vertices and how many sides and the name of the shape for each one of these. All right, your turn.